Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of, this is for mid-July 2024. You start off with this Divine Intelligence card. It says, to connect to your higher self, you must first create a space to listen. You have a sacred, the Scarab Spirit. It says, what appears unusable may still have a great value if you look deeper. So that's interesting. Let's see where that's going. You have the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. I'm wondering if maybe you had some sort of false start where you tried to work on a project or a business or something. And I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like a little bit of a second chance reading where you're going to be trying to do something again. And look at this. You go from the Eight of Cups to the Eight of Pentacles, like literally from walking away to something to working on something. So if you've been thinking about revisiting something, and by the way, we do have Mercury going retrograde in early August. So we're going to be in the shadow before you know it. And, definitely a really good time to revisit things and rework something that you were hoping would work out. So I think, again, if you're thinking about giving a project or an idea that you have a second chance, now could be a really good time to do it. The word freedom is really standing out to me on this Fool card here as well. And so maybe you will have more freedom at this time to work on it. And maybe that was the issue the first time, is maybe you didn't have enough time, or maybe you didn't have enough energy, or maybe you didn't have enough money, or whatever the case may be. But I kind of do see this as a second chance on something that was a little bit of a false start. The Ace of Wands can definitely represent, especially in reverse, the Ace of Wands can represent a false start or something that didn't work out the first time. The other interesting thing about this reading is that you end with the Tower, but it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. And, this is the Arc Animal Tarot, and she chose a snake as the card for the Tower. I actually just interviewed the creator of this deck as well, and, she was saying how much she doesn't like snakes, and that's why she chose the Tower as the snake card. But it's coming up in the good stuff, like I said. So it's maybe the first time you worked on something that you didn't have the solid foundation, or you weren't seeing the reality of the situation. Again, sometimes I think we work on a project, or we have this big idea for a project, but the reality is a bunch of detail-oriented stuff, or maybe it's too much work or too much responsibility. But now I feel like you're in a different place. So again, if there's something you walked away from that you're thinking about revisiting, I think it could be very successful for you. And again, Mercury retrograde, it's perfectly acceptable to revisit an old project, an old idea that you had, or maybe you thought about writing a book in the past, or maybe you thought about starting a blog or Instagram or something like that for your business. So it's always a great time to redo those types of things. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old and in with the new. Again, this is really what's telling me that you are, that your situation has changed. The Ace of Wands normally has a castle that's crumbling in the background, and it just represents out with the new, out with the old, in with the new. It also kind of represents inspiration. So you could be finding new inspiration as well, and this new inspiration is probably the thing that is kind of giving you a second chance. Not only that, we have the Nine of Pentacles right next to it. The Nine of Pentacles can represent kind of expansive thinking, or it says that you're thinking from a more expansive place. You also have the Hangman at the end, which really would represent you gaining a new perspective or seeing things from a new perspective. So again, the perspective thing, the perspective change could be what's allowing you to revisit something at this time. And I really feel, for the most part, this reading is just encouraging you to revisit something. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. The Knight of Pentacles, I'm normally not the biggest fan of the Knight of Pentacles because he really represents no movement or slow progress. But I do feel like you are making progress towards, kind of doing something that's going to lead to more abundance or success in your life, or it could just be an accomplishment. Again, if you're, maybe you are revisiting a book that you wanted to write, or, something that you wanted to do, it could just make you feel very accomplished. And, I'm a big fan of doing that. Again, I think people don't realize, even if something doesn't make you money, if it makes you feel accomplished, you are attracting an abundant energy. So I encourage people to do this every day, right? Because again, the more you do it, the more abundance you're going to attract. And sometimes I think people don't realize how things are connected either. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is doing things in a different way. He's normally standing at the top of his castle on the Two of Wands, and he has a whole world in his hands, actually this hand, but he's looking out at the world in front of him. He's not looking at the world in his hand. So again, another change of perspective card. It's almost like the story of him is that he's been standing where he always has been, and he needs to get out into the world to see that there are other ways of doing things. And, I feel like that is the thing that is giving you a second chance here. With the Ace of Wands, you have the King of Swords. I thought you had the King of Swords again. You have the Queen of Swords, but, again, the King of Swords can represent knowledge and wisdom. Like I said, it can say that you've learned a lot more, or you have gained, new levels of knowledge, and that's probably the thing that's allowing you to progress. You also have the Emperor here, and I kind of feel like, both the Emperor and the King of Swords are kind of like fearless. They've both been through a lot of battles, and so they have a lot of knowledge that allows them to be successful in battle. And so again, I think through challenges, you have learned how to be successful, or how you could be successful, and now it looks to me like going this way, you have the Fool, and I feel like this is saying that now you are taking the leap of faith. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about trying to protect your heart. She has those swords normally crossed over her heart. She's trying to protect herself, but she also has a blindfold on, and it kind of says that she's being too logical about the situation. She's not trusting her intuition. It's like if she were trusting her intuition, she would realize that she really doesn't have to protect her heart, because she would be able to sense if things aren't right. She would be able to sense the changes that she needs to make. So again, I think that, didn't this card right here say something about this? It says, it says connect with your higher self. You must first create the space to listen. So when you connect with your higher self, there's really nothing to worry about, because you are being guided on your journey. And I feel that Two of Swords is definitely saying that. It's saying, and you have the King of Swords as well, very logical and not necessarily like a connected energy. So I think the more connected you are, the more protected you are. Next in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Alpaca card. It says purposefulness, willpower, and stamina. You have this Rat. It says shrewd choice, reproduction, and agility. So you're going to have to move very quickly, and you're going to have to make changes, kind of like the Fool. The Fool is going on this big, long journey. He's going through the whole entire major arcana. So it's like there are good things and bad things that he will encounter on his journey, but he just needs to be agile. He just needs to make changes when he needs to make changes, and he will be perfectly fine. With the Alpaca, I think when you are on purpose, that's when you find success. So if you have a purpose for the things that you are doing, then nothing can stop you. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. The Eight of Pentacles is about putting in the work. It's about kind of like apprenticeship and mastery. The Eight of Pentacles is about material success on the horizon as well. Sometimes I think it is also a card of perspective, and we have a bunch of cards of perspective and how you look at things coming up in this reading. So the Eight of Pentacles, his perspective that he needs to gain is he needs to look at how much work he has done. He's almost done. He only has like one more pentacle to work on, and then he is done. So I feel like you need to maybe zoom out and see just how much you have accomplished, because that will probably put things into perspective and allow you to give something a second chance. And again, whatever this is probably going to be something that makes you money. So I really don't think it's talking about love. There are no love cards here yet. So again, I think that this is a second chance on work, like something that you're creating or that could lead to more independence with the Nine of Pentacles as well. So I feel that you really have the opportunity to create something great, but it's something that you're going to be doing again. The Nine of Pentacles is all about focus, and with that purpose card, the Alpaca, I think that your focus is going to be very important. You also have the Ace of Wands here, and the Ace of Wands kind of reminds me, well, really the Nine of Wands, but the Ace of Wands, it kind of reminds me of a quote by Les Brown, where he says, like, during difficult times, your reasons will be your rod and your staff, basically will be the thing that you lean on to get you through the rough times. And so I always look at the Ace of Wands as the rod and the staff, something that you will lean on, like your purpose, the reason you are doing something will help push you through those times where the Fool encounters difficulties and challenges. But again, Nine of Pentacles, gratitude and luxuries, really good energy. We also go down to this bald eagle, the Emperor. And the Emperor is a card of ambition and feeling motivated. He's ready to go at a moment's notice. Normally on a traditional Emperor, he has his armor on underneath his cloak, and it just says he's ready to go at a moment's notice. So I feel like you are ready to kind of attack something again. You have this Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords can represent your focus. It can represent what you focus on. She normally only has clouds halfway up her body on the Queen of Swords, and so it kind of represents the fact that she is focusing on exactly what she wants, and she is seeing through the haze now, and she's kind of like cautiously optimistic. She has that sword up, but she has her hand out. She's willing to receive, but she's still a little bit cautiously optimistic, right? So let's see where this is going. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Empress, so definitely a lot of abundance coming in for you if it wants to focus, which is definitely an important word in your reading. So I feel like you need to stay focused. I also feel like the Empress also reminds us that we don't have to like necessarily work hard. She works smarter, not harder, and that's definitely been like a key phrase this year. Definitely something I would focus on. We have Mars going retrograde. During Mars, I'm a big fan of conservation of energy. So with Mars retrograde, it doesn't say don't work. It just says work smart, right? And the Empress is definitely saying work smart. It's okay to work hard during Mars retrograde. Mars, again, will be going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. And even though we're not there yet, we do enter into Mars retrograde shadow pretty early. So what I would say here is I would start practicing right now. Even though we're not there yet, I would start practicing. And, the Emperor works hard. He's willing to put in the hard work. But again, it's okay to work hard during Mars retrograde as long as what you're doing either, number one, gives you energy. So if you're doing something that fills you back up, perfectly fine. But also if you're doing something that actually just works and is the most efficient way to do something, that is also perfectly acceptable. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. I do feel like you're stabilizing your finances here, or you are doing things that are creating better finances, so that looks good. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, whatever you're focusing on is either going to be very abundant or is going to improve your independence in some way, like your ability to take care of yourself, and I feel like that's what this is saying. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Whale card and you have this Fox card. I feel like the whale is about exploring your emotions and really paying attention to how you feel about things. Pretty much every single sign during these readings has had something about like their connection to their heart and how they feel about what they're doing. So as long as you're doing things that are heart-based, then you will be fine. The Fox kind of represents blending into a situation. So it's about matching the energy of what you want. And I'm a big fan of doing that anyway. I'm a big fan of just being the thing that you want to be. I really don't like when people say, fake it till you make it, because there's no faking that has to happen, right? We can just adopt the energy. We can embrace the habits of something that we want, like success or growth or love or whatever it is, right? And we can adopt the habits and start implementing those habits in our life, and then we become the thing that we want to be. So there's no faking that has to happen here. And I definitely get that feeling here on this Fox card. You have the Fool, this Hierophant, and the Emperor. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith towards something new. It's the next stage of your journey. And I just feel that the Fool is saying that you're taking a leap of faith on the next stage of your journey. This could have to do with a second chance. So you could be reinventing, again, a project or a business, or it could be a personal project. Could have to do with your health as well. It could be anything. But it's like you're reinventing something that you were doing and taking another leap of faith on it. The Fool normally has like tattered sleeves, and it says that he has been on this journey before. So you have all the knowledge and wisdom necessary. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about, what I'm getting here is that the Hierophant is, the connection between the heavens and the earth. So he communicates with both sides, and he's able to bring heaven on down to earth. The Nine of Pentacles is about heaven on earth, creating, something really great in your life. And again, a lot of people have been getting this. I truly believe it's because we're in a crazy time. We need to bring more good energy down to earth is basically what it means. So I think that you have this vision, and now the Hierophant is helping you manifest this vision. It could be through action with the Emperor. I feel like the Emperor, again, is saying that you're very motivated now, or you will be. It could be closer to the retrograde, closer to the end of the month, basically, where you start feeling like you want to take action or like you are more motivated to, accomplish great things. The thing about the eagle as well that's pretty interesting is that, the story of the eagle is that the eagle can see very far, but it can't see all the way around the curve of the earth. And so I feel like it's kind of saying that, I feel like you don't realize like what you can accomplish, and I feel you need to I feel like you need to believe in yourself more is what that's saying. With the Fool, you have the High Priestess. You have both divine counterparts here, High Priestess and Hierophant, Emperor, the Emperor and the Empress here. So if you are looking for love, definitely could be a very spiritual connection. Not really a love reading, but it does kind of show up. I would also trust your intuition. With the Hierophant, you have the Six of Swords. You are definitely being spiritually guided. The Six of Swords normally has a guide in the back of the boat, and he guides those two people in the boat across the choppy waters. So I feel like you are being guided towards calmer shores, or you're being guided towards something better. With the Emperor, you have the Star. Yes, the Star is about having a focus. The Star is about your North Star, having that one thing that you can focus on that leads to, much better success in your life. And I would definitely, have a star at this time. And a star can be a purpose. And that card said something, one of these cards said something about being purposeful. And so having a purpose will be the thing, the rod and the staff, like I said, that comforts you in those difficult times. And so, again, I would definitely come up with some sort of purpose. It could be anything. Next in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says, slow and steady wins the race. You have this turkey. It says, give with grace and gratitude. We see a lot of gratitude in this reading, Nine of Pentacles mostly, but I think practicing gratitude will be the thing that increases abundance for you. I think things have been slow, but I actually see you taking more action this month. Especially with that Emperor card, I feel that now the pieces of the puzzle are kind of coming together and you're starting to move towards the things that you want. You have the Hangman, the Two of Swords, and the Tower. This is coming up in the good stuff. So with the Hangman, I kind of feel that you are setting yourself free. The Hangman has sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs so that he can gain enlightenment. But it's like now that you have the enlightenment, it's time to start moving in new directions. And so I feel like you've kind of put yourself on pause to gain answers, and now it's time to revisit something and give it a second chance, or rebirth it in some way. You have the Two of Swords, and again, the Two of Swords can represent protecting your heart. We already talked about this. It's coming up in the good stuff, which is great. I feel like it is saying that you're kind of maybe letting your guard down. I also feel that you are being a little bit more flexible in how you accomplish what you've set out to accomplish. And of course, being more flexible will be the thing that leads to more success. You have the Tower. Again, the Tower and the good stuff would say that you are healing from a Tower moment, or you're being set free from some sort of Tower moment. I also feel that, again, if you're trying something again, I feel that what the change that's happening is that you are if you don't already have it, I feel like you are developing or building a more solid foundation. The Tower only ever gets reduced down to its foundation, and then you always rebuild the Tower back stronger. So I kind of feel that if something didn't work out the first time, it can work out much better this time. With the Hangman, you have the Four Swords. Four Swords is about resting, relaxing, recovering. Again, Mars retrograde at the end of the year. Even though we're not there yet, I would do whatever you can to, I would do the things that fill you with energy is what I would do. These could be fun things. These could be spending time with people that you care about. Could be anything. But I would do more of that because that's probably where the blessings are going to come from. With the Two of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about being curious. I kind of feel like that's what's happening. Ace of Wands is the spark of inspiration. You have the Star, which is inspiration as well. It's almost like, you could be thinking about trying something again because you have been inspired to try something again, or you have gained some inspiration that is guiding you on this journey. So I would definitely pay attention to that. I feel like you are being guided in new directions. With the Tower, you have the Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty, for sure. So a lot of you could be discovering fortune after difficulty, or, after you have had a Tower moment, you could be kind of experiencing a much better energy with that Ten of Cups. So that definitely looks good. You have this Parrot. It says someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. Who cares? I always say just ignore it. That's probably the best thing you can do. So wouldn't even pay attention to it. You have this dog barking. It says advice from a friend. I think that really, don't be isolated. Nine of Pentacles is a good energy, but, she can be too independent, and, there might be people that you care about. And again, these would be people that give good advice. And if you have people like that, I would listen. You even have this Man card. It says dealings or relationships with a man. And then you have this Key card. It says successful outcome to your problem. So, there might be a man in your life, or just a person, who cares, that has really good advice. They could be the key to your success. And so I would listen, or if you have a person you look up to, it might be a really good time to get their advice. You have this Hills card. It says obstacles to overcome. Like I said, nothing is going to be perfect. And it's funny that I was saying, like, that there will be challenges. Whenever you do something new, of course, there are going to be things that come up. But I feel like you need to realize that these are hills, not mountains, and you will easily be able to overcome these obstacles. So don't be afraid to, if something happens, just keep going. Don't give up. You have this cloud. It says temporary problems. There you go. So I think any problems or challenges that you experience at this time are definitely going to be temporary. They're not going to be things that like stick around and cause problems for months on end. So don't allow those little things to pop up. Looking at the astrology, I can see how there are probably going to be things that pop up for people and they're going to get worried. But I really feel we just have to push through those things and accomplish whatever we're trying to accomplish. But looks like a really good reading here, Sag. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.